everyone, and welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm your resident host, Karen Buechs. My goodness, I think it's been 7 weeks since I've been here. This is a live broadcast tonight, and I have a fabulous guest for you. But I'm telling you, it was great to come home. We went to Florida for a little over a month and missed a lot of the snow, came back, couldn't find the house, but it's okay. I hear spring is coming. And we even have help tonight. Dr. Mark is here. Let's say hello to our underwriters. Just had a fabulous sandwich from Stoll's Cafe in Manomet. Chicken salad, delicious chicken salad on a rye bread with ginger and cranberries. Oh, it was delicious. Brewster, PC Solutions with Wrestling Brewster. Ken just did a taping for him. Brand new show, and the same for Trifletti and Costa on Long Pond Road. Brand new show coming up. And underwriters, David and Kevin Gallerani. Owners of Cape Auto Body and Service. Locations are Samoset Street and Sandwich Street. By the way, did you know David put solar on his service facility location? Fabulous. The whole back roof. Beautiful solar panels. Good for you, David. Well, I lined up tonight's guest about 3 months ago. It was before we went away, and he was kind enough to say yes. He's very busy, and he is an integral part of this town. And we so appreciate and respect him. He's enriched our community in so many ways, different capacities. Ken and I respect him very much. Please welcome the Executive Director to the Chamber, Plymouth Chamber of Commerce, Kevin O'Reilly.
That was quite an introduction, Karen.
Oh,
I'm almost embarrassed.
Oh, I know. You are actually a shy guy, but I meant every word. Every word. Well, you've served in so many different capacities. You know, this show goes to a lot of towns, Kevin. So why don't you give a little background of who your personal and business background?
Oh, sure. Well, I grew up in Plymouth, proud 1979 graduate of Plymouth Carver Regional High School.
Yes.
Back when Plymouth had to have an extra town in its high school instead of having 2 high schools now. So we've seen a lot of changes over the years, and Plymouth grow like crazy.
Yeah.
Spent a lot of time doing political work. I've worked for everybody from presidential campaigns back in the 80s to somebody that we all know and love here in Plymouth, former Senate President Terry Murray.
Terry, sure.
And worked on all of her campaigns from 1992 right on through, and briefly spent some time up at the State House with her as the Chief of Staff to the Ways and Means Committee in the Senate.
Big job.
Yeah, very big job. Opened my own consulting company called Creative Strategies and Communications a couple of decades ago. It's hard to believe I say that.
Really?
That I've been around, that I'm that old now that I can say that.
Did that. I remember when you did that.
And we've done a lot of work for local developers, political clients, and the like. And now I've transitioned part-time to the Chamber of Commerce.
Yes.
And I still am maintaining a few clients with creative strategies, but devoting more and more time every day to the Chamber.
Tell us when you were appointed to the Chamber, hired.
I was back in December. And prior to that, I had been the chairman of the Chamber 5 years ago.
Yes.
And that's a volunteer position, and we do 2-year rotations. So I spent 2 years as the Chamber, and prior to that, I was the chair of their Government Affairs Committee.
I remember.
So I've been involved in the Chamber for many, many years, and was happy to get the opportunity to serve as the executive director now.
I am so proud of you. I mean, they couldn't have picked anybody that, I mean, I would champion champion you all the way. I mean, we've worked together before.
So many issues.
There's so many things, and we have a lot of fun. See, I think you're a fun guy.
Well, I think I'm a fun guy too.
Yes, we've had a lot of fun.
We have,
yeah,
even in the middle of
crises.
some crazy campaigns and some crazy issues, we still find time to laugh.
That's right, you have to. And you always calm me down, too, when and if I became riled. But
You never get riled, do you?
yeah. And you were a wonderful town meeting member.
Thanks. Yeah, over 10 years on town meeting.
Yeah. Out of what precinct?
Well, it started in Precinct 13, and then the redistricting put a line down the middle of Pinewood Road, and it became Precinct 11.
Right.
And
right.
I moved 2 years ago from Precinct 11 to Precinct 4 now.
4.
In
Wonderful.
Chiltonville.
Chilton. See, if I could live anywhere, it would be Chiltonville. I love my Manomet, but it's eye candy to me. You know, you go down Old Sandwich
Old Sandwich.
Road.
I'm right off Old Sandwich Road. It's every part of town is beautiful.
Yes.
And every part of town is unique. But Chiltonville is
just has
right up
something
there.
special. The animals, the horses, the deer, the bulls. I mean, it's a whole bunch of wildlife out there. And but I love my Manomet. You know, the ocean, and I can't be far from it. But how many people does the chamber employ?
We have 5. In addition to myself, we have 5 people. 2 of them are part-time, and they are probably the hardest working folks you're ever going to meet for the chamber. They do it all. When I came in, the first thing I wanted to make sure I did was not get in their way.
Yes, sure.
But they do so much, from our workshops to our events to our outreach.
Yeah.
They all work very, very well together.
Yes.
It's a great team.
Well, I hope you become full-time. I mean, why is it part-time, Kevin?
I think the transition after Dennis left, for those who don't know, Dennis Hanks was there for over 8 years and did a wonderful job. And Dennis wore 2 hats.
Yeah.
Dennis was the executive director of the chamber, but he was also the economic development director under the Economic Development Foundation. And nobody worked harder than Dennis. He did a great job, and you know, he smartened up and moved to Florida where it's warm. Where I know you and Ken just spent quite a bit of time.
Yeah. He posted something on Facebook, and I had to pound him for it. You're not getting away with that. But now you serve the county of Plymouth. What towns does that encompass? So
it is the Plymouth Area Chamber of Commerce. So
yes.
Obviously Plymouth is the center, but we also have Kingston and Duxbury and Marshfield and Pembroke and Plimpton and Halifax and Hanson.
Okay.
And we work very closely with other chambers.
I was going to ask you that.
The Cape Cod Canal Chamber of Commerce, Wareham and Bourne and Sandwich. Maria Leva down there does a tremendous job. I met her once, and what a lovely, wonderful girl she is. We just actually had a joint business after hours with them at Mirbeau down in the Pine Hills last week. Nice. And the place was sold out, and it was a great opportunity for her members to mix with our members. There's also a lot of spillover. A lot of our members will be members of her chamber and vice versa. Oh, I see. I did. Lovely, lovely girl, knows her subject inside and out. You know. And there are smaller business organizations. There's the Carver Business Roundtable. Oh. Jack Hunter over in Carver, who's on the planner over there. We meet with them on a monthly basis. The Kingston Business Association is just reformed. Oh. And they had a great event last week, and 3 of us from the Plymouth Chamber went over to work with them. Nice. And that's good. We're looking forward to continuing to build that relationship. We have a great relationship with the Pembroke Chamber and working with the Duxbury Business Association. So while a lot of people think of it as the Plymouth Chamber, it's the Plymouth area, and I think that's one of the great things about this chamber is that we work with everybody.
Yes.
And what's good for Plymouth is good for Kingston. What's good for Kingston is good for Plymouth.
Compliments.
And we want to make sure that it's regionally we're doing well. And we're
Yeah.
not just putting a fence up around our own town.
No, I don't think that's our attitude
No,
anyway.
no.
Plymouth is not like that. What helps Kingston helps Plymouth and vice
Exactly.
versa, and that's the way it should be. I'm sure you would be there in a second if they needed anything.
Absolutely.
And they the same for you. And I know the show goes to Kingston, and they're a good neighbor.
Well, we'll make a pitch for their business association and tell folks to go online and find it and sign themselves up, because it's a good group of business people over there that are
So
looking to be
say
active.
it again. It's a business.
It's called the Kingston Business Association.
Okay.
And it's it had been active a number of years ago, but the group, I don't want to say everybody's name because I know I'll forget some, but Dave
Sure.
Strusky and John Haas were
Haas, I know
driving forces to pull that back together.
Very good.
And I think they'll do Mary O'Donnell. I think they're
Mary O'Donnell. I know
That's part
Mary
of it, yeah.
O'Donnell.
I think they're going to do great things over there.
Yeah.
We're looking forward to working with them.
Very good. She's a go-getter, you know.
Oh, yes, she is.
She's a whippersnapper. I know a few of those. I like strong women.
Being one yourself, right?
Oh, well, at times. Now, when we talk about the county, I'll tell you, Kevin, I did an interview here, and I interviewed the chair of the county commissioners. I wanted to run out of here screaming. But no, you know, that's just me. Do you work with them at all?
A little bit. I was over at the registry with John Buckley. They
I
just
like
opened
I love
their
him.
new
Yeah.
their reading room over
Yes.
at the registry. John's a wonderful guy.
He really, truly is. There is, with John, there's no Democrat, no Republican. John, he's like Matt Moratori. You know, the same thing.
Right.
And that's wonderful, you know.
And we do some work with Sheriff McDonald. I know he's very involved in the
Joe.
in the opiate issue.
Oh, yes, they're going to have a little gathering.
Yes, and I know he's been working with Gary Maestas and the
Yes.
hospital and others
Oh, it's
on that,
terrible,
and
Kevin,
Judge
yeah.
Minahan.
Yeah.
And that's something that I told Gary Maestas that I think the chamber can be helpful with.
Oh, that would be wonderful because, yeah, we need
It
the
affects
help.
everybody, every
does.
family, every business. Everybody knows somebody that's been impacted
Yes,
by this terrible
we
disease.
do.
I think it's a disease.
Yes, Kevin, you know, it's very hard to come off. They would love to do that. They can't.
No, there's some switch in the brain
Yeah.
that
Do
once
we
you-
have facilities that can, you know, really take care of them down here in this area?
There are some facilities. I know High Point in Manamat
Yeah.
does, and Gosnold
Oh,
down on the Cape
Gosnold.
is world famous. And I just read in the paper our old friend Bill Delahunt is putting together some facilities. I don't know all the details about it, but
How is he? I saw him at Town Hall last year, and he looked wonderful.
he's
you know,
great as usual.
Yeah, he
yeah.
really is. That'd be wonderful if he did that. That'd be great.
But I think society now is looking at this as not something that happens to other people.
No, affects everyone.
And I think now that we recognize that, I think the community is really coming together around it.
Right.
Yeah.
We have to.
Yeah, we have to.
Isn't there a function tomorrow night at Memorial Hall with the sheriff and
Right.
police chief, or who's going? Do you know?
I don't.
Yeah,
I don't.
but it's a big thing, and they're sponsoring it.
And I know Tom Coulter has been out in front of this issue for
I think
years.
he was the first one that I saw, and he came before the selectmen, and then he talked about it. Sometimes I get to read the Kingston paper, but yes, he was.
Yeah, he was way out in front on this.
Way
Yeah.
out. Exactly. I'm glad you reminded me of that. Tom Coulter. Yes, a great representative. Now, the chamber supports economic development. Now, coming from town meeting, you know what town meeting wants and doesn't want. So, has there been any interest, new businesses coming in to Plymouth?
There has been and I think Plymouth is. I think I wanted to say we're on the verge, but I think we're past being on the verge of a hot place to be.
Oh.
And if you look downtown with all of the new businesses that are coming in, so you're not seeing the big corporations coming in that you're going to employ 300 people making widgets or whatever.
Oh, the big boxes? No, we don't need that.
But you are seeing a lot of the smaller stores. The majority of the chamber's membership is under 10 employees.
Yeah, mom and pop.
Yeah, and I mean, I'll take example in the last week. Last week we did a ribbon cutting at the Villa Juice Bar on one end of downtown, and 2 young kids that put the money together and opened up this great little shop down there.
Yeah.
Tonight, before I came here, we were at the craft beer cellar.
Oh, sure.
Which
Where
is
that?
which is right down on Main Street.
Yes,
Yeah.
right on the corner there.
Yeah, right around the corner
Yeah,
from
right
Middle
around-
Street
right.
by the Middle Sports Pub.
Okay.
Right next door to there, and wonderful little shop. I mean, beers from all over the world.
Really, Kenny will enjoy that.
Well, I highly recommend he goes and checks it out.
Yeah.
And you know, if you drive down through Main Street and even other places in town, those storefronts that were empty or vacant
I
5
know.
or 6 years ago, they're starting to fill back up again.
I noticed that, and I was happy. And they're different stores, so you have a variety for us and the tourists.
Yeah, and tourism, as you know, is huge in this town, and with 2020 coming up, it's going to be even bigger.
Yes.
And there are some things we need to do with infrastructure to prepare for that. And JB, Jonathan Beater, is working on a great plan for the waterfront that is going to upgrade the waterfront that I think is going to be important. The Plymouth 400 Committee is very active, and we just had a delegation, or they just had a delegation over from Plymouth, UK.
Yes, I saw that.
And the folks from the UK, they're well on their way with their celebrations and their plans. So I think there's going to be a national and there's going to be an international spotlight on this town, and we're going to get a chance to shine.
Do we have the hotel structure here?
You know, I talk to Paul Cripps about this all the time, and he would love to see some more rooms, but he's confident that we can handle it because there are going to be some big events that occur, but there'll also be a lot of other events that are spread out. And he said, if you look at some of the events that aren't during the summer season, you've got thousands of hotels over the bridge on the Cape. You've got hotels in Middleborough and in Taunton and Rockland and other places where it's really not that far to travel when you're a tourist. And we think, well, if you're not downtown, how are we going to get there?
Yeah.
But
Kingston should build a hotel.
Kingston,
a big one.
And so we'll be able to pull it off.
Yeah.
I'm confident.
Yeah.
And we'll have enough area for satellite parking and shuttle people in and out.
Well, that was Kenny's suggestion over 3 years ago. He said the shuttle should...
Well, you were down in Florida, and someone raises this example today, is go to Universal or Disney World.
Sure.
And what do?
Yeah.
You park off the property, and you get in one of those little shuttles, and
shuttled over.
And you get shuttled over, and it's a great experience.
It really is. It truly
we can do the same thing here.
We're going to have to.
But there are other things that the chamber's working on regarding economic development, because tourism's obviously a huge driver in this town, but we also can do a better job attracting some of these other larger businesses. And I think, we've experienced this at town meeting where it's a convoluted process if you have a large project that you want to bring into town, because we don't have a lot of shovel-ready property that's 10 or 20 or 30 acres. The industrial park is pretty much
The-
filled up.
yeah.
I mean, and it's a great success story. And with BID taking over Jordan, you're seeing a lot more of the medical offices sprouting in town.
Yeah.
But we don't have that area where we can build one of those big campuses that other towns might be able to do. And I think we need to take a look at that.
Well, Kenny was on that committee with Mark
Right, the
Garrett.
Industrial Lands Committee, right, did a great job on that.
And they targeted areas of the town where things could, and I mean, they settled on the industrial parks. I mean, and it wasn't any in the line of sight of homes.
Right, right.
You know, and but you don't know.
I think we could make the process a little smoother for somebody that's coming in. And that's one thing I'd like to work on.
Oh, permitting?
On the permitting. And not to say anything against the staff, because Lee Hartman and
got
the
nothing to
planning
do
and their
with it,
staff
yeah.
do a wonderful job.
Right.
Really, and they do a great job, but I think it's the structure that we established in town that maybe we could take a look at.
Talk about permitting. Didn't Cordage just take out a permit for their waterfront?
They,
Yes.
I wasn't aware of that.
We read about it.
Yeah. Well, that's wonderful.
I am thrilled about that.
yeah.
Now that means if he starts that taking out the sand, dredging, bigger ships can come in.
Yeah, I didn't realize that they had, because that's a tough permit to get through the
It
state.
is. Well, he
for
waited
that
a
dredging.
long time.
Yeah, that if that comes to fruition, that's gonna be great.
Am I correct, Kenny, on that?
I just didn't want to embarrass anybody. We
Oh,
applied to the state for the marina.
The marina.
floats.
Okay, great.
oh, the
And he
floats.
has to go through a special process with fisheries and game up in the state house.
Yep, and coastal zone management and all of those,
And
right?
he applied for those permits to put the floats in for the marina.
Oh, great.
You know, if that happens, that's a whole
Oh,
other
tremendous.
story.
That'd be tremendous.
Huge.
Not only for North Plymouth, but for the entire town.
Entire town
Yeah.
and area.
And Kingston, right, because
And-
you're right on the border.
You know, I sit on the Revenue Idea Task Force, and we came up with ferry service. And the only place, and by the way, the state pays to garage that ferry. They pay for it like 95%, 85%. I think it's 85. And they also pay toward the ferry.
But we need to dredge that channel
You
to
have
make it
to,
work.
yes, you have
Right.
to dredge the channel.
Right. I don't think it's been dredged since the 40s.
Oy, yeah,
Oh, he's right.
yeah. That's the.
But, you know, you look at some of the pictures up at the cordage and some of those ships that used to come in and out of there.
Yeah.
And you know it can handle it.
We could have pleasure ships come in.
Some of those smaller cruise ships.
Sure, that go out of Boston to Bermuda.
Right,
You know, they
right.
could go out of Plymouth
And
or
again-
Cuba. Yes, I want to go to Cuba.
Well, you can now, can't you?
I know. Well, I want to wait till they build a hotel. You know, but oh God! Now you talk to Melissa, our town manager.
Yes, I do.
I'm sure
Yeah,
you do
yeah.
every day. She's a dear.
She's very hardworking. I don't know how she
Hardworking.
puts all those hours in.
Well, you almost have to,
Right.
but her heart is there. See,
Right,
that makes the difference.
right.
So, you know, we've been very used to Melissa, and it's going well.
She does a great job for the town.
Yeah. Now, you act as a voice for the business region, I'm sure. And like you said, there aren't that many development sites. So all the room in the industrial parks are gone? So you
There's
have
still-
to go up.
Yeah, well, we know what happened when we tried doing that at town meeting.
Yeah.
That didn't pass, raising
No.
the height. But I still think there are some opportunities. There's still some parcels that can still be developed. I know there's still a vacant parcel by OCB, which just came up on the corner of
that's
Route
that's
80
where
there.
I go.
Yeah, yeah, a great facility there.
I was just diagnosed with glaucoma.
Really?
Yeah, so
Well, they're a
that's
good place to go.
that's where I go. So it's, it's okay.
And they, I was just talking to those folks, and they're moving their back office operations into that building. So there's going to be additional employees that are working in the industrial park in that building now.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So it's
Well,
not just the doctors down there.
I think town meeting's point was, show me the company that wants to come in.
And that's so hard to do because by the time the company that wants to come in comes in and says, do you have any land available for me, and how long is the permitting going to take, they're moving on to another town that says, well, here's the land, here's the permitting, here's what we're going to do for you. You have to set the table to attract those people to come in. That's always been my argument.
Well, Dennis's too, but town meeting says, show me the companies. Now, isn't there any land for another industrial park, say in South Plymouth? Way down, off the side there.
Well, the Economic Development Foundation has about 40 acres on Hedges Pond Road.
Yes.
Down there that has been cleared and is ready. But it needs some infrastructure. There's not a lot of infrastructure down there in terms of water and sewer and the
water
like.
and sewer, but you have the exit there.
You have the exit there, and there's other parcels along that road that could be developed as well.
But you need water and sewer. Have the company do it.
Exactly. Remember when Stop and Shop was looking down there?
Yeah.
And there was millions of dollars worth of infrastructure that needed to be done at the intersections down there.
Yeah.
And
I remember.
that didn't happen. We've got the 1,000 acres.
Oh, don't even go there. Oh, my God. You just gave me the shivers. All right.
Next subject.
Yeah, next subject, please. Oh, you live and learn. What is your advocacy role? I know you said a little bit, but do you, when a company comes in, do you take them at their word, or you do a little background?
Yeah, and Dennis had that role as the economic development director, and the chamber still fills that role a little bit, but I think it was just announced that there's going to be a new economic development director in town. Her name is Jessica Casey.
Really? I missed that. Were we away?
Yeah, that was just recent. She starts April 1st.
All right. Where's she coming from?
Well, she's a Plymouth resident.
Good.
But she currently works at the Harvard JFK School of Government.
Nice.
And very bright, and I think she's going to bring a lot of innovative ideas.
Oh, I like her already.
And one of her roles at the JFK School, I hope I get this right, is traveling around the country meeting with municipal leaders on innovation.
We need innovation.
And I think she's going to do a great job. Prior to that, she worked...
Thinking outside of the box.
Yeah.
Okay.
Prior to that, she worked for Mass Development.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so she understands the grant process. She understands state government. She understands local government.
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to working real closely with her, hand in hand with her.
I think you should have a meet and greet so people can meet her, and a little cocktails, and I'd be interested in meeting her.
Yeah, I think we're going to let her get her feet on the ground.
Oh, sure.
And she's already been meeting with people ahead of time prior to taking the job.
Good for her.
We laugh and say it took 2 of us to replace Dennis.
I know. Well, don't you think he didn't say that?
Right.
Trust me. But
so she's going to take a lot of that, the marketing of Plymouth and the trying to come up with some innovative ideas to attract people. But as a chamber, we're still going to be involved in that. We advocate for business issues in front of town meeting, in front of the Board of Selectmen.
Zoning board, I was, I don't know why I forgot that part. You go before...
Yeah, I spoke in front of the zoning board regarding Copper Cove.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You all right?
for that project,
Yes.
which has been lingering for years now.
Yeah, but it's about to.
And so yeah, I think once the snow
Yeah.
clears, they're ready to get going, which
I'd
is
like to
great.
see something
Yeah.
there.
You know, we advocate on statewide issues when they come up. You know, the restoration of weekend rail service was one of our big issues last year. Mm-hmm. So when the issues come up, we're there, and we'll join with other chambers. I know I've signed on to letters with Peter Foreman from the South Shore Chamber and some others when there's an issue that's important to
Does
this
Peter
region.
still live here?
He does.
He
yeah,
does?
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought he was on the North Shore.
No, he's still here.
Wow,
Yeah. Mhm.
okay. All right. Now, so the zoning, that's, I don't know why I forgot that. Referendum questions, you do a lot of polling,
Yeah.
you know, which I haven't received a poll for a long time from the chamber.
The last one we did was last month, and it was sort of a fun one. We asked our membership, or anybody that wants to join in on the poll, to tell us what kind of workshops they'd like to see.
Oh, sure.
Because I think one of the things that sets this chamber apart from others is the amount of workshops and events and seminars that we do at the Chamber of Commerce building down on 134 Court Street.
Right.
I think last year
It's a beautiful building.
we probably ran about 90 workshops or seminars,
know.
anything from Excel training to marketing to digital, all kinds of stuff. And Amy was telling me probably 2,000 people walked through our door last year.
How does that work, Kevin? Do they pay a fee? Do they come in? How long are they? The seminars?
On the fee, some are free.
Yeah.
Some we charge a nominal fee just to
Yeah.
cover our
I
expenses.
knew it wasn't a lot.
It's not a lot. We give a discount if you're a chamber member, but
Yeah.
if you're not a chamber member, you're welcome to attend. You just
Sure.
pay maybe $5 or $10 more.
Sure.
And like I said, we do everything from beginner Excel training all the way up to one of the things that on our survey we saw people wanted more of was social media training. How to take advantage of social media for
Hot
their
dog.
businesses.
I'm
Yeah.
telling you, it's wonderful.
You know, and then we have an education collaborative, and one of the things I wanted to highlight tonight was our Jumpstart program,
I heard about it.
which
Tell us.
is a great program, and we feel in the last year was a little underutilized, so we're trying to get the word out. In fact, Megan Doherty from our office is going to be at Plymouth South tomorrow night because they're having, South is having a job, I guess it's a job and volunteer fair.
Okay.
And we're trying to get the word out about Jumpstart, which is generously funded by PIDC and Makepeace and others.
Makepeace, yeah.
And what it does is it allows high school seniors who have just graduated, who haven't decided they're not going to go on to a 4-year school or even a 2-year school, to enroll in a certificate program
Nice.
at one of our local schools. So whether it's Massasoit or Cape Cod or Quincy or Curry, that if they find a certificate program that's held down in this area, they have to pay like a $50 registration fee, but we'll take care of the rest.
Oh my goodness, did you hear that, people? If your child wants to go to something like that?
So last year, our two popular programs were veterinary assistants,
Oh, yes.
and we did that through Massasoit, and they came to our building and taught a course.
That's wonderful.
And the EMS Institute out in Carver
Sure.
did some EMT training. And between the two programs, we had about 20 students that passed through. This year, we're expanding it out a little bit. We're going to include the Silver Lake region.
Good.
And we're compiling a list of other certificate programs that are available. And that's one program that we're real proud of, and we're hoping that people take more
I think
advantage
that's
of.
going to take off.
I do too.
I really have a good feeling
Yeah.
about that. There's a lot of kids, they don't have the money to go.
No, and they're
to-
not ready.
Yeah,
they're
not ready. And maybe from that they'll go, but that's okay.
That's right. Not
know.
everybody needs to go to college.
That's right.
There are good jobs out there.
What about plumbing?
Plumbing, I'm not sure that any of the community colleges have that, but that's interesting. It may be something that we can look at with some of the trade unions.
Oh, yes. Well, the carpentry, they have the school out in Middlebury.
Yeah, and the laborers have their training center out in Hopkinton.
We went with Dennis Lassage and did a whole day of filming out there. What a wonderful program that is.
Yeah, that might be worth us reaching out to some of the trade unions as well.
Do you want to see some photos?
Photos.
Yes. Are we ready for some photos? I'll be ready. You hear him in there. They're having too much fun in there. But we have some photos for you that show.
Oh, there's one of
tell
our ribbon
us.
cuttings.
What is it?
That I need to put my glasses on.
Okay.
Because I'm getting old and I can't see very far anymore.
Yes.
Oh, that's Three Daughters. We did that earlier this year. It's a wonderful jewelry store down on Water Street behind Isaac's.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, if it's a nice boutique.
Yes.
It's,
I'm going to have to go in there.
yeah, you should definitely go in there. I think we did that just around Christmas time.
Okay.
And we had a nice turnout for that.
Good.
Very friendly folks down there.
Okay. Next one. Oh.
That looks like our Women Mean Business lunch at Mirbeau, which we held 2 weeks ago. And as you can tell, that was a sellout.
What a beautiful room.
We had to, that's at Henri Marie, the restaurant at Mirbeau.
I see. I've never been there. We haven't been there yet. We are going.
Yeah, you should definitely go.
No, we are.
And the Women Mean Business Lunch is one of our real popular events. We do it monthly, and we rotate to different restaurants around the region. This week, yesterday actually, we were at T-Bone's.
Oh, sure.
So we've been all over.
That's a packed room.
And this is great. Well, we say it's a Women Mean Business Lunch, but men are also welcome to attend. So,
course.
Ken, if you feel like going, you're welcome to. And everybody gets a chance before to network and then to tell a little bit about themselves. This was back at from the previous photo. We were just sort of toasting the grand opening.
The three
daughters. Yes.
Three daughters. It looks like a nice shop.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. They made us mimosas that morning.
Will I be able to afford it?
Absolutely.
Okay, good. Now, where's this?
This is our annual lunch
Yeah.
at Indian Pond.
Oh, Indian Pond's a beautiful
And
place.
this year it was sold out. We had over 400 people attend.
Mm-hmm.
And we were honored to have our new state treasurer, Deb Goldberg, as the keynote speaker. It was her first speech as the state treasurer. She
Really?
was sworn in on Wednesday, and she was gracious enough to come down on Friday.
Good
and
for her.
gave a great speech.
Good for her. Oh yeah.
Oh, there's the
Scott?
folks from the old colony. That looks
Yeah.
like the
Scott and Tammy.
wicked local table.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to see. Oh, I see Bill Hallisey in the back there. Did I? I think I did. Okay, go ahead. Yeah, way back there. I think so. No?
I see Tom Wallace there
Yeah.
in the tan jacket.
Yeah,
Mike
he's sitting
Babini.
at his table.
There you go.
Yep. Okay.
Good eyes.
Yeah. Okay. I can read lips too, so go ahead.
I'm really not sure what that is.
That's hysterical.
Obviously, it's something related to Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I see Amy from our staff sitting in the middle there. But, see, it just shows that the chamber folks can have fun too.
Yes, I know they can. Oh, that looks nice.
That is one of our most popular business after hours. It's on Paul Quintal's boat.
Oh, sure, I've
Lobster
been
Tales.
on there. I've been on
Yeah,
Lobster
Paul and Jean
Tales.
Quintal do a great job.
They do.
And that's very popular. That's one of those, when you hear about it, you need to put your name in right away, because
Okay.
obviously once the boat's filled up, the boat's filled up.
They are wonderful business
They are,
people.
yeah.
I love them.
I've known them for a very
Yes,
long time.
Okay, where are we?
Auto
Fair.
Yeah. They were one of our major sponsors last year for
Okay.
the Waterfront Festival. And again, business after hours. We'll hold them in car dealerships. We'll hold them in restaurants. We'll hold them here at PAC TV if you're
Yep.
interested in holding one here. And,
Yeah, and they're fun. Kenny went to a
lot of
lot
fun.
of them.
a lot
Yeah.
of fun. Great chance to meet chamber members.
Oh, one of my favorite
There's
people.
Megan and
Yeah.
Amy and Bob at our
Yeah.
expo, at our business expo.
Business Expo.
And this year, again, was sold out.
Yeah, you just had it.
Yeah, we couldn't fit another vendor in there if we tried.
Good.
And despite problems in the parking lot because of all of the potholes, we had a great turnout.
Good.
And a great day.
Good.
A couple more pictures. You can see you can see how packed it is.
Yeah.
That's a very popular event that
It is
that we run.
every year. Yeah.
I think we had 85 vendors this year.
Very good.
Again, that is our Empowering Women's panel.
Okay.
And this year we're just putting it together. We're going to hold it in May, and we bring women in from the business world, politics, and it's a panel discussion. And we do a lunch. And again, last year's was sold out, and we're working on our featured keynote speakers right now, but we'll have more to come on that.
Makes me want to have my own business, Kevin. Go ahead.
Mamma Mia's at the Pine Hills.
Mamma Mia's.
Viscarellos do such a great job.
Yeah.
And
Institution.
yeah.
Oh, there's
And-
Anthony Provenzano. I see him, I think. Yeah.
And there are our scissors, our oversized scissors
Yeah.
that we take everywhere with us. And it was they're doing quite well down there.
Oh,
In
they
fact,
would.
tomorrow morning we have a morning mixer there.
Oh,
So
for what?
if you just want to come and
business?
just businesses, chamber members or non-chamber members, we're
Yeah.
doing it's 8:30 tomorrow morning.
Okay, I'll tip my coffee cup to
There you go.
And Harbor Cruises. Yeah. Oh, was that the Quinto?
I'm not sure if that was on Paul's boat or if that's on the on Stanley Tavares's boat, the paddle
okay.
wheel boat.
Oh, the paddle wheel.
Or no, that actually looks like the Captain John's.
Says PACC.
Yeah, that looks like an event on one of the Captain John boats.
Oh, okay. Another great company.
Absolutely, and it's another institution in this town.
Next one, Kenny. We
The
have more
Pilgrims.
hats.
This is the Plymouth Pilgrims. If you haven't been to
Yes. I have not.
one of those games, they do a great job. Dave and Dave have done a great job.
Everybody raves about them.
They're wonderful guys,
Yeah.
and they put together a wonderful team. And I'll make a pitch for Dave right now. They're looking for host families
Oh, for the
for
players,
their players because
yes.
they get some of the best collegiate players from around the country
Okay.
to come play.
Yes.
And sort of like the Cape Cod League. This
Right.
is New England Collegiate Baseball League.
Right.
And the games here are the equal of what you hear about on the Cape. The Cape League's just been around longer, but it's the same concept.
Yeah, the
And it's a
Brewsters
great-
had
yeah.
a fellow stay with them.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Great baseball.
Yeah,
And
great
nice kids. And nice kids.
Yeah. We've got to get to a game.
Yeah, Forges Field.
Yes. Which is a great field, by the way.
It is. Spent many a day down there coaching youth soccer and youth baseball. Nope.
Oh, Waterfront?
Waterfront Festival.
Oh, I love the Waterfront Festival.
Every year in August, 20,000 people converge on Plymouth, and it's It's a great. It's one of the signature events in Plymouth, along with Thanksgiving and 4th of
The
July.
vendors, they really have some great things.
Yeah.
Great things.
And we're looking for some great entertainment this year.
Good.
More to come on that as soon as we can.
I love
lock
the
down one of these
Waterfront
bands.
Festival.
It's a great day, and we've been fortunate to have some good weather. So I hope I don't jinx ourselves this year.
No,
Yes,
don't
thank
do
you.
that.
And we have the vendors, the entertainment, the
Yeah.
car
The
show.
food.
The food is wonderful. The car show over at Jenny Gristmill.
Yes, and it's a great family venue.
Oh, absolutely.
The people even bring their dogs. They're very well behaved.
Yeah. We're very pet
Yes.
friendly. And that brings up Barktoberfest.
Bachtoberfest, which is phenomenal. That's all I hear. Oh my God, it's going to be Bachtoberfest, and they all run down from everywhere.
Up at Nelson Park.
Yeah.
It's 1 year we decided not to do it, and we got so many complaints from people saying you need to bring Barktoberfest back.
Oh, Kevin
That we
Doyle
got.
and Dan, they wouldn't miss it, and they love it. And I think it's one of the greatest things that whoever thought of it should get a raise, because it's.
Well, they'll all be taking credit when I go back to the office tomorrow.
Oh, and then you have a legislative breakfast.
Yes, that's every year in the fall. And it's a great time for, again, our members and our non-members to come in and hear what's going on up at the State House. So we have all of our legislative delegation.
Yeah.
So it's not just the Plymouth, but it's the county as well.
Yeah.
So the sheriff and the DA come.
Yeah.
And our legislators from the Cape and the South Shore are
I
there
bet
as well.
that's a packed room.
Every year.
And that's at the.
That's at Indian Pond as well.
Indian Pond, which
Yeah.
is a beautiful facility. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
Yeah. It's a great facility for large crowds like that.
It really is. The room is perfect for it. Acoustics are good. And then we do the first Saturday Buy Local
Yes.
downtown.
Yeah, it's been a tremendous success. Fell off a little bit with the snow,
Yeah.
but now that you and Ken brought the warm weather back in the spring,
Yeah.
and the snow was melted, it's really brought the merchants downtown together. And you drive down on Saturday and you see those flags hanging out, and it's been very good. And we're hoping to expand that and to get more people, not just Main Street, but North Street and others involved in the program as well.
Well, Kenny, my husband, sits on the Visitor Service Board, and one of his suggestions was to Christmas light, white light, a lot of the trees, all the way into North Plymouth. Because, we want to remember North Plymouth.
Right, absolutely.
We want to remember White Horse Beach. I mean, there are other
That's
areas of town.
Absolutely.
We have beautiful beach there, and there's Long Beach. Of course, Long Beach gets everything. David Gould has done a phenomenal. Oh, I love that man.
That's where we try to spread our events out, our business
Yes.
after hours and our morning mixers. We try to spread them out as far as we can.
Yeah.
So people have the opportunity to attend.
Have the opportunity to attend. I mean, we have all these wonderful villages. And do you think Pine Hills will ever get their own village?
Their own village steering committee, their
Steering
designation.
committee,
I would think so. I mean, they have
Yeah.
essentially their own precinct now.
Yeah, a lot of them have to go to Cedarville or the
right.
Manamet, which is fine. I mean, happy to have them. But
I wonder, is that a change of the
it is.
charter, or
It's
is it
something.
something?
I think a while ago I asked Lee, and he gave me a solid reason. But
I think
they're
it's
growing.
more than just saying, "Hey, we're a village
Yeah,
center."
it is more than that.
Yeah.
So, but maybe someday, I'd like to see South Plymouth too. They have nothing.
Right. Well, down off of the Makepeace project,
Yes.
Redbrook now, they've broken ground on the YMCA, and we're actually doing a joint event with them. And June 6th is National Trails Day.
Oh yes.
So we've done it in the past. We've done it down at Brewster Gardens.
Yep.
and we've had events down there where we'll pass out trail maps and walking and things like that.
Right.
This year with Makepeace and Red Brook getting off the ground in the Y, Makepeace and the Y are sponsoring our Trails Day down on their
Good.
village green down there.
Good.
And they have, according to Tom Berkeley, they have a lot of trails already cut in by the Appalachian Mountain Club.
Yes.
And we're going to try to spread the word. And I would think a lot of the people down that part of town that haven't gone by, it'll give them an excuse now to come over and take a look and see what's going on.
It's going to be beautiful. Tom Berkeley's on April 1st with me. Yes, he's coming on. I like to have him on once a year, and he gives an update, and he's going to be sending in tons of photos.
Oh, they're doing a great job down there.
Great job. I mean, the Y, I grew up with, Boston Girl, Hyde Park. The Y, went to the Y every
if you were a city
Saturday.
kid, that's what you did.
That's what you did, and the swimming and the bowling and everything.
And all the other things.
They were
the pickup
wonderful.
basketball and
They were wonderful, and brought kids together, families together, and it's a great thing.
we used to ride our bikes to the boys' club down on Middle Street.
Oh, yeah.
That's what we did.
Yeah, Kenny was a boys' club member up in Boston.
And now we have that beautiful facility up in the
Yes,
industrial
they've
park.
done a wonderful job.
The old boys' club, you could tell who learned to play basketball at the boys' club because the ceiling was so low. You had to shoot the line drive
And they
balls.
had,
So you couldn't shoot the high arcing shots. You had to shoot sort of the.
God, love them. Well, Kevin, Kenny and I are proud chamber members, and we look.
I know.
We can't make we feel bad because we don't have a business, in that respect. But we help you whenever we can.
Absolutely.
And we support you.
There's so many events that we do. We don't expect people to show up for everything. And even if you do one a year or you do none a year,
there's a
we know you're
couple
there.
I would like, to.
And everything's posted on our website, and we just encourage people pick and choose. Find something that's convenient for you, or take a look at some of the workshops that we have.
Yeah, well,
or even just the networking events.
Are you going to the Pine Hills Tuesday night? The reception for Karen Polito?
I wasn't aware of that.
I wasn't aware of that. She's so impressed with the Pine Hills.
She should be. They've done a tremendous job down there.
Yeah.
I can tell you that every time we do an event in the Pine Hills, they sell out. And like I said, we were there last week for the business after hours, and we'll be there tomorrow for the morning mixer.
You've eaten there, you go there. I mean, we haven't been there yet.
I've eaten at Mamma Mia's, and I've had lunch at the bistro at Mirbeau. I haven't had dinner yet, but everybody who's been there raves about it.
They do. I know
it's like
they
a special
do.
occasion place.
I don't know.
So Kent's saying no, I'm not going to take you there. Is that what he's saying?
Yeah. Oh, well, I open it to the public. Now, the 400th, how is that coming along?
I think they're doing a great job.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people have said, well, what are they doing, and how come we don't hear? And I think Michelle and her staff have really brought things along tremendously in the last year.
You need better communication. Nothing against anybody there that's doing, but the community would like to know more. Now, I also understand it's the community's responsibility to read the paper about it, to maybe listen to the selectmen's.
I think the old colony has been
many
articles recently, and a year or two ago, that wasn't the case, and people trying to figure out, is there one committee or two committees? I think they're focused. I think they know what they want to do. They've got a plan in place. They finally sold 1,500 of the license plates. I mean,
Took 4 years.
Yeah. And I think Cheryl did a great job.
I hear good things about her.
Yeah, she did a great job bird dogging that and keeping it going, especially when it was, it didn't look like it was going to happen, but they hit the 1,500, and I think that has finally shown that the people in the community are interested. And I think there's just, Plymouth, there's a general apathy on a lot of things in Plymouth.
They're busy working,
They're
Kevin.
busy. The people are busy. They're
Yeah.
raising their kids. They're going to work.
It's a very family-oriented community, and they're working their butts off.
And I made a comment in jam session on in the newspaper a couple of weeks ago about it, and I said, there's always a handful of people that are going to do a lot of work. It's sort of that 90-10.
Oh, the heavy lifters.
It's the 10% of the people doing 90% of the work.
Right.
It doesn't mean that people in town aren't interested, say, in the Thanksgiving parade.
Right.
There's a handful of people, Ollie and his crew, that work on it every year. But we have tens of thousands of people that show up for that.
And the
same
4th of
with
July.
the 4th of July.
Yep.
The Waterfront Festival, it's pretty much put together by the chamber staff and some of our volunteers. And you've got tens of thousands of people that show up. So I said, if you organize it and you host it, they will come. But you need to get to that point where you organize it. And I think they're getting there. I think they've got some good ideas.
Well, the flag behind the podium at the Selectmen's meeting?
Yes, I do.
Kenny and I bought that flag.
I remember that.
For the 400.
I remember that.
I'm not sure I would have placed it there, but they wanted it seen, and they didn't know where, to put it. It's, everybody does their part, whatever they can do.
That's right.
And I know that the festivities, and it'll be a year long.
It will be. It's not just an event in 2020. It'll start in 2019. And there've already been lead-up events. The Forefathers Day, the Family Day at the Forefathers Monument that started last year.
Yeah.
Peter Balboni does his Bass and Blues tournament every year. Jeff Cohen just put together that Midnight Masquerade, which was a wonderful event.
Jeff Cohen has to be knighted. He is phenomenal. He's in Maui right now.
I know. So I feel like I shouldn't need to say nice things about him because he's in Hawaii right now. But
we have 2 minutes, Kevin, and I just want to say Kenny and I are so appreciative you came in, and we're proud to call you friend.
Same here.
And we are very happy for you.
Thank you.
And for this town. Now, tell us just whatever you want to say about the chamber to the people, and wrap it up. And
well, the chamber's a resource that we want people to take advantage of. We enjoy more members, always, but even if you're not a member, there's plenty of programs that are there for the community, and we hope they take advantage.
And you're highly accessible.
Absolutely.
Pick up the phone. Call the chamber, email, they're wonderful.
Walk in,
yes.
We're there.
Thank you so much, it was great. It's like riding a bike. I missed you. Next week is, I believe, Make Peace. Then one of these, I have Matt Moratori, and Betty Cavaco is coming on. She's running for selectman. She's out of Precinct 6. Betty's a terrific gal. Thank you so much. See you in 7.